Okay, hello everyone. Can you all hear me? Hopefully everyone can hear me. If anyone has a problem with the audio, please let us know. I would like to welcome you all to our webinar for today, Tackling Time, Attendance, and Payroll Challenges in SAP SuccessFactors. I would like to thank you all for your attendance and your commitment to this session today. For today, what we're going to discuss a quick breakdown of the agenda for today. Firstly, that we're going to introduce to you what is Raptors and what we do here in the company. And then secondly, we're going to talk about the business scenario that has triggered the need for the solution that we're going to discuss today and that we have developed. Thirdly, we're going to go through the standard process of how time attendance is managed, going through the different processes until reaching the payroll processing stage. And then we're going to go through the SuccessFactors time tracking module and how it has enhanced the time management for HR departments across companies to ensure an enhanced and more consistent way of managing time attendance. And then we're going to tackle the struggles and the challenges that have been faced with time machines, integrating with SuccessFactors, time tracking, and how it has caused some issues or inconsistencies when it comes to the time tracking. And finally, we're going to talk about our solution, the Time Connector add-on, and how it has addressed the challenges that got raised from the time machines and how it ensures that it integrates with time tracking in an enhanced way. So first off, talking about who we are Raptors Technologies. We are a specialized SAP SuccessFactors consulting partner, established in 2020, headquartered in the Middle East, and proudly recognized for our expertise in human experience management through SAP SuccessFactors. We focus on delivering cloud-based HR solutions with a strong emphasis on efficiency, innovation, and business impact. We have the privilege of working with clients across different countries in the Middle East, such as Iraq, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and many other countries across the MENA region, and have successfully implemented SAP SuccessFactors solutions, including today's spotlight topic, our time management solution. This was actually published on SAP Store and has actually been implemented for customers using SAP SuccessFactors in both Egypt and Saudi Arabia, currently operating with this solution right now. Let me give you a quick overview about the team that we have today for this session. Firstly, myself, Saif Hafoush, and we have the development team, Mu'taz Ahmed, Saifuddin Fathi, Veronica Faiz, and Ahmed Ragab. For this webinar, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the QA section of the Microsoft Teams webinar chat. We'll be collecting all your questions and addressing them during the dedicated QA session at the end of the presentation. I now leave the floor to my fellow teammate, Mu'taz, to walk you through the topics we have today.
Hi everyone, my name is Mu'taz, and I'm excited to welcome you to this webinar. We'll be diving into one of the most critical and often underestimated parts of employee management, which is the time tracking. Before we start, let me take you to the show of someone that we all know. Let's call him Sam. Sam is an HR manager at a growing company. Every month, he prepares himself for what feels like a nightmare that's been on repeat, which is the payroll week. He starts off hopeful, hoping that all the issues that have been appearing through the past month won't appear. But as it always happens, missing punches appear, unexplained absences, unauthorized leaves, and shift conflicts. And suddenly he's buried into follow-ups, Excel sheets, and long email threads. Sam is frustrated, employees are frustrated, payroll deadlines are slipping, and every mistake actually has a real consequence on the employees and on the company financially and even emotionally. By the time the payroll is processed, Sam is exhausted, and he knows in just a few weeks, all this nightmare, all the cycle will repeat again. But now, imagine this. What if Sam had a tool that made all that stress disappear? A system that tracks time accurately, flags issues in real time, integrates seamlessly into any payroll system. No chasing down, no long email threads, nothing. Just control, clarity, and compliance. That's actually where SAP Time Tracker, and our very own add-on, Time Connector add-on, comes in. What was once a nightmare has now become a dream. Sam doesn't dread the payroll anymore, is confident in control and finally focused on what truly matters. So now let's move on to the process overview. This is actually the process overview of what happens normally in any time solution. The employee punches in and out. Those punches are replicated to SuccessFactors. Time evaluation is replicated to whatever payroll system the company chooses to run payroll on. The HR starts to run payroll, and they initiate payroll processing. This is actually where the nightmare that Sam has been avoiding starts. The payroll processing, the errors start to appear. The payroll processing is delayed, causing issues and long email threads, as we mentioned, and all the problems that we've been saying. So now let's have a quick overview about SuccessFactors Time Tracker, where it solves those issues, which actually the first phase of turning this nightmare into a dream, what we saw through our very short story. SuccessFactors Time Tracker is built upon two strength points. The first one, compliance, sanction, and overtime. So actually making sure that the company is compliant and the employees are compliant also. So if an employee has an unauthorized leave, he left early or came in late, sanctions should be applied. This employee should have deductions or whatever the company policy chooses, or the country policies also plays a part in the sanctions. And if the employee stayed overtime and worked extra hours, he should be compensated for those extra hours. This is why SuccessFactors Time Tracking, making sure it's compliant for both the company and the employee, protecting both rights and making sure they're compensated and not underpaid. And the second strength point is the self-service from timesheet. The employee can actually have full visibility in his clock-ins and clock-outs through his timesheet, which actually we see in our system walkthrough, and be able to view his clock-in and clock-out and be proactive. If any issues appear, he'd be able to send emails or have a conversation with the HR manager or the time admin to solve these issues before even reaching the payroll processing, and apply any time types, which we will further explain through our system walkthrough. Now, let's move on to our system walkthrough. First, this is the page in SuccessFactors named Manage Clock In and Clock Out. This page is only visible or only appears to the HR manager and the time admin. As you can see, they have the timestamp of all the employees. When did they clock in? When did they clock out? And everything is clear over here. You can see over here the April 27, 2025, the time, it's paired. Terminal means it's automatic. It came from the database. It wasn't manual. And the terminal ID, which gate he entered or left from. Everything's clear. Everything, you can view it easily. Make sure to solve any issues. If it's not successful, it will showcase an error over here in order the HR manager to be proactive. But let's take, for example, Rai Salim. Rai Salim is an employee that we're going to be showcasing through our walkthrough. So Rai over here, when you filter on Rai, his clock in, the clock outs appear. As you can see, successful, which means it's paired. It has a clock in and a clock out. Over here, it has a clock out without a clock in, which means not paired. If you click on this information button, it shows you the error. The time event has not been paired, as there is no corresponding time event to pair with. This actually error flags is really important, as the HR manager should be able to solve this error before reaching the payroll processing part. Because if this error isn't resolved before the payroll processing, it will actually stop the payroll processing, causing an error, and the payroll won't be able to be completed unless this error is resolved. The main strength over here that the HR have full visibility. If an employee has an issue with his timesheet, he can easily filter with employee named in order to be able to see his clock-ins and all of his timestamps and clock-outs. Now, let's move into the employee people profile. This is Lai Salim profile. If we go to his time management, we will be able to go to his timesheet. Over here is the timesheet. As you can see, it's weekly. If you click on Sunday, which is the first record, you can see his planned working hours supposed to be 9 hours. His recording time is 9:16 minutes. If you click on this record, as you can see, his planned working time starts at 8 and ends 6. You should have a planned or scheduled break from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. One of the main features is that I could actually see his clock in and clock out that were calculated, or it was collected by the time machine and sent to SuccessFactors to his timesheet. This actually gives a huge advantage that he has full transparency, being able to see his clock-ins and clock-outs easily. being able to trace and make sure that everything is correct, being proactive, which is one of the main importance, being proactive. If there is an error, you could flag it to the HR, flag it to the time admin, making sure that the errors are resolved before even reaching the payroll processing part. As you can see, one of the cases we want to show here is that LI has an unauthorized options, which shows an error, which shows a warning, sorry. Over here, LI can record a time type. This is what we mentioned before. The time type, actually, it's a work from home, a personal permission, an official permission, a business permission, a lot of time types. Actually, this is custom if each company might have different time types and it's easy to be implemented. So let's say I worked from home and this day, I worked from home from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., which is actually his working hours. As you can see, once he press save, this means the workflow will be triggered, which goes to his direct manager and the HR manager. Once approved, this warning will be removed and it will be changed to a work from home. This actually feature offers flexibility to the employees and full transparency. They'll be able to see their clock-ins, they'll be able to apply to all the time types and making sure that everything is working correctly, and if there's any issues, they'll be able to view them over here and making sure everything is correct before reaching the payroll processing part. One last case I'd like to show is what if LOI clocked in without clocking out. As you can see over here, when we filtered by LOI, this was the not paired pairing status, which is actually a clock out without clocking in. As you can see, the time event has not been paired. But what if the HR manager didn't filter on LOI, wasn't able to view this? It's very easy for LOI to view it over here. Once he clicks on Wednesday, the error appears over here. That time event has not been paired as there is no corresponding time event to pair with. So it could be, once again, proactive. If he's checking his timesheet regularly, it could be proactive, sending to the HR, telling him, okay, I didn't clock in. What is the sanctions supposed to be applied, to be able to inform the HR to solve this issue before reaching the payroll process. So once again, this is the timesheet, which gives flexibility and the employee to be able to be proactive, solving issues before even the HR manager being able to view it, sending the HR manager, making sure that his timesheet is actually calculated correctly. So this is the end of SuccessFactors Time Tracker. Once again, actually, this solution is the closest thing while researching. This is the closest thing to be perfect. What this solution offers is actually a BTP. BTP is a custom place to be able to do custom integrations to enhance the solution. As Saif mentioned before, but this solution is already implemented to 2 companies, but we had many companies we worked with actually and started implementing Time Tracker. We found struggles that appear mainly in the MENA region when the overnight shifts and the shifts, the irregular shifts. So what are those problems and how did we address them? The missed punches. So as we saw with LI earlier, what if I clocked out without clocking in? It would actually not delay payroll processing, it actually would stop payroll processing, which is a huge issue. So how is it handled, or how is our add-on solved this issue? The system downtime. What if there is a disconnect between the database and the punch machine database and SuccessFactors? What this means that all the punches would be lost, all data would be lost, with the HR manager won't know who clocked in or when they clocked in. The unclassified time machines, SuccessFactors accepts only paired punches, making sure that it has a clock in and a clock out in order to be accepted. Time machines don't offer this by default. You have to pay an extra amount of money, which are really expensive, in order to have an identified clock in or a clock out. Most time machines have only punches. This actually will cause a problem because you need to send an identified clock type, either it's a clock in or a clock out. The redundant punches, which actually is a huge problem also if an employee clocks in twice or clocks out twice. How the system will handle this solution, which was the correct clock in and the correct clock out. If I, as we saw before, left for a break, he clocked out and clocked in, which one was his initial clock out and initial clock in? Which one was the break clock out and clock in? So all these issues, this is where our time connector add-on comes in. It's actually an integration solution that integrates your database or your punch machine and SuccessFactors in real time, making sure that everything is being transferred from the database to the SuccessFactors in real time. Once the employee clock in, he can open his timesheet and view his clock in directly. One also addition in our time connector is that not only it is an integration, we had some enhancements that we'll be showcasing throughout the next slides. This is how we solve the time machine struggles right now. The missing punches resolution. So our system intelligently detects this time gap and adjusts and creates a special punch type that is assigned to this employee, making sure it's flagged, making sure that the HR manager to be able to view it. And if sanctions should be applied or country policies should be applied, it should be applied to this employee and deductions should happen. Actually, this is very important because it won't stop the payroll processing as there is a special punch assigned to the employee and deductions should be also applied directly. System downtime, actually, this doesn't cause a problem as our solution when the system is back online, we retrieve all the punches once again, making sure everything is in sync and everything is clear, no data lost, everything goes perfect. Time entries management, as we mentioned, if an employee clocks in and clocks out, we smartly and intelligently chooses the clock in and the clock out. And if there is a missing punch, we assign the special punch type. And one more thing, we add a feature that we added is the overtime. If an employee works overtime, we detect this also and make sure that it's replicated and being sent to the SuccessFactors. One last issue that we solve is the duplicate punch filtering. As I mentioned, if the employee clocks in many times and clocks out many times throughout the day, the redundant punches can cause problems to the system trying to smartly choose which one. Our system handles this issue, making sure that the correct clock in and clock out are the only ones appear on SuccessFactors, not the redundant punches. Filtering is actually a very important thing, and only clean and accurate time records are used and appear in the timesheet. Actually, we didn't just stop by solving the issues and struggles. We always here in Raptors strive to have enhancements. So this is actually a custom report, compliance report that we offer with our very own add-on. So as you can see over here, it has all the clock-ins and the clock-outs, the unpaired time events, which we mentioned in the previous slide, making sure the special type punch. And you can have the full visibility on all the employees and the compliance percentage appear, the actual punches, the missing punches, and the total punches throughout, can filter by day, can filter by week, as you can see over here. And this is actually a slide where we filtered by a specific employee, Loai, which we showcased in our system walkthrough. As you can see, the compliance percentage, everything is clear. If an employee reports that there is a problem in his timesheet, you can come to the compliance report, make sure that everything is compliant and everything is clear. Now let's have a process overview and how our time connector and Raptors and the ACP time tracking enhanced the process overview that we saw in the beginning, and it made it more complete. So the employee punches in, and this is an uncategorized punch, making sure that there are no punches, punch type applied to any punch. So Raptors time connector handled those punches in real time, giving them their type, whether it's a clock in or clock out based on the work schedule, making sure it's the correct punch. And then if he has a missing punch, a special punch type is assigned to this employee. And those punches are recorded to SuccessFactors in real time. As I mentioned before, one of the great add-ons we have in our time connector is the real time. Once an employee clocks in and just goes to his seat in the office, he could open his timesheet and be able to view his clock in directly in the same moment, so replicated in real time. And then time evaluation is replicated to whatever payroll system the company chooses. The HR runs payroll. This is where the nightmare that we spoke about at the very beginning turns to a dream. The smooth payroll processing starts. Way fewer errors, making sure that everything is correct even before reaching the payroll processing. The HR won't have to drag payroll anymore. They'll be able to have everything under control, and actually it won't be a huge load on the HR manager or the time admin. Now this is actually our Raptor Time Connector published on ACP Store, which actually I'm really proud of. The team worked on and took a huge effort for the team in order to be published. And we're really proud of our very own Raptors Technology Time Connector. Over here, if you've got extra questions, you have a phase for it, you can view it, and we'll be really thankful if actually you view it in the ACP Store. Now, this is the end of our walkthrough. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I hope it was fruitful. And I'll leave you back to Safe once again.
Okay, thank you, Mu'taz, for the amazing walkthrough. Now, this is the dedicated Q&A section where we are happy to receive your questions. In addition to, of course, if you want to send any questions after the meeting, you can contact us in the email info@raptors.tech. But right now, if you have any questions, please feel free to raise it with us and we'll address it. Just reminding everyone, if you have any questions or any inquiries, just feel free to raise them. The team here will be very happy to address them. Sorry for the technical issue. I believe we can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, Saif, and thanks to the Raptors team. It's Mazen here from SAP. I don't have a questions. I just want to congratulate you on the solution. And it's a really valuable add-on that everyone in our customer or partner list can go and purchase it through SAP Store.
Thank you, Mazen, so much. It's it's a pleasure for us that you attend with us today, and glad that you enjoyed it, and hopefully it's all the attendees here feel it was fruitful and beneficial. So if anyone also has any questions, please feel free to raise it. Okay, so if you have any other inquiries or if you have any queries generally after the meeting, you can send us at info@raptors.tech. We'll also send it in the minutes of meeting for this webinar. Thank you all for attending. Thank you so much for your time. It was our pleasure that you attended with us today. And thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.